We're glad to have you here.
Would be fine.
Yeah.
Your department is where?
So what's your hours there?
Most of the time, it's every day except Wednesday is 9 to 2.
Okay.
And I'm all day Wednesday, off Friday.
Okay. Okay. Good evening, everybody. Everybody doing all right today?
Yeah.
We're going to open up our meeting today on Wednesday, September the 19th at 6 o'clock on the button. So we're going to look over minutes from last month now, or we're going to wait? Okay.
We're going to defer.
Defer.
I'm going to circulate them and then everybody will send edits.
We're doing online approval.
Well, can we
No,
do?
you cannot do it online.
Okay.
It's got to be approved here.
Okay.
So we'll do it at next month's
Yeah,
meeting
do it
then.
next month meeting.
Okay.
So,
We will get a draft though.
Oh, okay. I need to make a motion. Okay, so I'll make a motion to defer to our next meeting to approve the August minutes.
Well, I will second.
I'm sorry. I don't know y'all.
You should just call me here.
You just tell, I'm gonna call you Doug. So if you have something you want to get to know you, I appreciate it, because I don't know who opened it.
Okay, so my name is Leanna, Leeanna.
I'm Jamie Emerson, Jaime.
Claudina Gianni Tool, Claudina.
Mark Seelinger.
Brett, Bumeter, B-U, and then meter, like meter stick, M-E-T-E-R.
And Brie, like without the I, like the cheese.
Okay.
Hager, Hager.
Thank you.
And I'm Dan Underwood.
Dan, okay, thank you so much.
Well,
So we're going to move on, well, do we need to,
yeah.
we're going to go ahead and,
Jamie made a motion. She seconded it.
Yep.
Claudine seconded it.
Everybody agreed.
everybody agreed?
And everybody acknowledged it. Thanks.
Okay.
All right. Do we have anything for public comment? Nobody?
Nobody's here.
Just us. All right, well, we're going to move on to other business, and the first thing on the list is the Reed Park CIP change and recommendation.
Yes, in the package you have here, you have the CIP that we've been working on for the city, and we wanted to go forward and make one change to that. In the CIP study you have in front of me, it called for an ADA ramp from Reed Park down to the baseball field, or lower field. We now realize that that's in a floodplain, and the cost to do that project is going to be a lot of money. It was budgeted like $130,000, but it's going to run a lot more than that. So we either wanted to table that project, move it off to charge completely for right now. I think it's more pressing things to do down at Reed Park. We're looking at a picnic shelter, a restroom facility, and a water fountain to the upper field. And all this work will be done at the upper field, and a lot cheaper than just putting the ADA ramp down to the lower ball field. The lower ball field was just used for practice, overflow for practice, teams coming in. It's the only thing that we use for. It's not lit or anything like that. So it's like an overflow for practice. So we don't, it's not just necessary to spend $130,000 to $150,000 for ADA ramp and for ball field for practice. We did have an event at Reed Park, I think about 2 weeks ago, the 100-year celebration of Reed, and it was a couple hundred people down there. Everybody had to bring tents. And a picnic show would be an idea for a situation like that. And that's going to be one of their annual events. I think when you're looking at quality of life for everybody, we want the same kind of resources at all the parks. And that's one of the parks that we do not have, like I said, a water fountain, restroom, picnic shelter. And we try, not only that part, we're trying to do some of the other parks too, but I saw that in there about the ADA handicap ramp, and I wanted to kind of just move that on the back burner and take that project way down the road. You know.
Is the lower field still being used for anything right now?
It's not used that much, no.
Okay.
No, like
I mean, I've
said,
seen soccer there before, but I didn't know.
It's overflow, and it does still, with the city, with our other park system, we do meet meet ADA requirements, we do have other places that people can go and practice and stuff, so we violate any codes or anything like that, as long as you have a park that people with ADA usable, friendly, that they can access of those parks.
Do you need a motion?
Yeah.
Well, sorry, just really quick. This is Jamie. So how about, what if we just moved it to the bottom instead of taking it off? I mean, I don't disagree with anything that you said. I feel like some of these things have been on here since like 2003. So, I mean,
They have.
you know, or even longer than that, really.
They have.
And, you know, maybe when we do the official CIP and we were looking at everything holistically, you know, then maybe we can make a decision to like wipe it off the list or not. But since it's kind of an ad hoc thing, how does everybody feel about just putting it at the like bottom of the list and then we'll reassess? Is that,
The question is though, by the doing that, does that impact upon the budget at all? I mean, like if we have to hold those funds in abeyance for, 1 year, 2 years, 5 years,
No,
is it going to, or really doesn't it matter?
it doesn't matter.
Oh, okay, perfect.
Because what we're doing, the CIP, how we fund it, we're doing the
Right.
projects and year
Right.
after year, like,
Right.
next July 1 to be a whole new cycle
Right,
for
okay.
the CIP projects.
Yeah, I agree.
But we try to do 5 or 6 projects a year.
Sure.
Within the CIP, because all the projects that we have here.
Oh, I know.
So it's as we have money available in the general
Yes,
fund,
as we have money
then
available.
next one up.
Mhm.
So this isn't actually like budgeted yet? It's
No,
more of a-
this, I kind of look at this, in my experience, kind of look at this as a wish list. And our wishes in priority that we would like to see.
Okay.
Is this part of what city council just approved?
No.
this is one of the things they look at when they put their budget together, but it's very much, it's just our preferred ranking. Yeah.
So we'll make a motion to, not to remove it, but to put it at the bottom of the
Deprioritize
CIP
it.
list.
Yeah,
Yes.
so number 17 would move to number 28.
I second that motion, or were you motioning?
Yes.
Okay, I second.
Everybody approve?
Yes.
Yep.
All right, and then the updates on programs and events.
The update, all our programs are running pretty good. We got, details with a couple of them last week. Our soccer games are probably gonna start this weekend. We're trying to get staffing. We did have a problem with staffing. Some of our old staff, they went off to college, so we're getting a couple of new people coming in to help us start this weekend. We begin to pick up with a lot of different things. We have T-ball, get ready to start. We have 5 T-ball teams. We have 3 baseball teams. This is our first year having 3 baseball teams in the fall. But we're playing in Gastonia with the Gastonia League right now. And this is an ongoing project. Hopefully we can get our baseball program built up in the next couple of years to where we have games here and be self-sufficient for ourselves. So that's the goal that we're trying to reach, is to get our baseball program really back up and running again. It had been lagging for years. So we're trying to get that program up. As far as our special events, next weekend we have a Dogs in the Park. That's going to be from 10 to 2 p.m. at Stowe Park. And then after that, it's going to be a concert series from 6 to 10. That's next Saturday. So we are beginning to ramp up our special events and things like that. We did finish our Movies in the Parks series. We also finished the Wednesday night concerts. We're probably going to have to table up also our Movies in the Park because we have very low attendance. Anytime you do a Movie in the Park, you're looking at $300 to $400 per event for license. So that's kind of costly. One thing that we did research on, we did find out you can pay a $550 fee and show movies inside and have unlimited movies. So that's one thing that we might go to a little bit more. And the other reason behind that is climate control. We got rained out, it was too hot. So kind of bad for us, spending $500 and we have 10 people come. So now we do have a chance to have them in the, right now, unfortunately, the only thing we have is the Ford Center. It's all we got. And council did approve the start of the work for the new city hall off of Catawba. Hopefully that'll be built by August, September next year.
Wow, okay.
So hopefully, if we do have this project that we'll have movies in the park, we'll be able to house more people down there and be able to show more events. And I can envision us having a 5:30 movie for the kids and then a 7:30 movie for teenagers or something like that, because we're gonna have more space down there and more parking. So hopefully, we can be able to make that change. Now, we're not gonna give up on all the movies in the park, we still show a few of them. At the last movie, we had 35 people, but still don't justify the cost. We do get sponsorships for some of this, but still, $500 for a movie, and you only have 30 or 10 people attending, it's kind of hard to do. And then you're looking at staffing also. And another thing we're looking at too is not focusing just on Stowe Park. I think I told you guys about this, moving to different locations. I think we need to do more in Gulf Bama, we need to do more down in Reed, we need to do more down in Lofton Park, have events in those sites too, and not just focus just on Stowe Park.
Has your department, Zip, talked about different things to maybe boost that attendance up? Like, times of the year, maybe around certain dates of the month or the weekends or something like that? Or is that just?
This has been an ongoing problem. We had that problem, same thing last year, and then we did change the date and times, and we still ran into the same thing, either rain or too hot.
Sure, yeah.
Either one. So, just bad, especially in the springtime. Now they'll get dark to about 8:45, 9 o'clock, when some of these movies start, and that's just too late for some of these kids to come out at that time. So it'll probably be better to have them in the fall, and then we could have some of the other movies inside. Would be a whole lot better. Maybe get some participation for that way.
I was gonna ask a question. I know that most movies in the park follow the model of them being family friendly, but have we ever done any that are just geared towards adults?
We did one last year, and I forgot what it was. It was a horror movie. I forgot what it was, but it went okay, and that's why I could see us maybe having something in the fall. We have an inside facility that we can do something that we can have the kids 5:30, 6 o'clock, and then the adults. You start at 9 o'clock at night or something like that.
Yeah.
On 8:30 or something like that, to be able to have more stuff and variety for people to do, more age groups. I really want to try to do more for teenagers, because I think we're lacking in that aspect. We're not providing good services for them. So the teenagers and for the adults, we need to have more programming for them. As well as the other programming, that's basically what we've been working on is something we got going on currently, got going on now. We're trying to do a better job of getting the word out to everybody also. We're contacting the schools better and the churches, so we're working on that too, and making our presence on the internet, so we're putting stuff out there for everybody. We did purchase a couple of more A-frame signs to be able to post around the city also. So we're trying to get the word out.
Yeah, I think that's just a tough, speaking as like a parent with kids, like I think it's a tough time of day to try to have a kids movie and even for older kids to get them out at 9 o'clock. That's all I was wondering, if you're gonna do it, maybe you should just kind of flip the focus and really just do it for, parents and other adults. You could do it like a date night rather than geared towards families.
Well, we get the facilities, we do get this license agreement, like I said, it was $550 for the year with unlimited movies. Then for our summer camps and things like that, we in an inside facility, we can put the curtains down and they actually show a movie, do an extra summer camp going on. So it wouldn't limit us just to having something at 8:30, 9 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm hoping that we can get to in the future. And everything is a process, it's gonna take us some time, but hopefully we'll be able to get there. That's about the only update I have on the sports. But one other thing did come up off the record. I got never ended about. I got a summons to go to court Monday. The incident that happened 6 months ago when the guy was on the four-wheeler down at Gant Park. It's been ongoing. I've been to court 3 times already. But it's been table. So now it's coming up again Monday.
I didn't know
I don't
about
know
it.
what you're talking about.
Oh, well, anyway, we had a guy, the Police happened to be driving by Gant soccer field, and the guy had a four-wheeler. It was probably in November, early November, and they caught him and arrested him. So then we got had to go to court on it. They tabled it twice, and now it's finally come up again Monday.
Okay.
We got an estimate on the cost. Thinking they said it was around $5,000 or $6,000 estimate on the damage.
Wow.
And the company had to fix coming in, and the guys contested that. So it's going to have a jury trial and all that stuff starting Monday. So a lot of fun with that. That's at 1 o'clock.
Expensive
But he's
joyride.
really glad he made that decision.
Yeah, and the guy, he didn't know it was a soccer field.
So he didn't see the soccer net?
Harvey
Gant Soccer Park?
You know, we had all the stuff, they even had it in Spanish, park closed.
Wow.
He still claimed it wasn't.
Wow.
In the soccer field, so I didn't know it was a soccer field. So that was his.
No, it's just there for his.
Well-
He was a film, I forgot what his name was.
Well, it wasn't a four-wheeler track either, so. I mean,
That's pretty obvious.
all right, well, looks like we're gonna get an update on the master plan part of this, or?
Including your package, and I'll let Brent talk a little bit about this. Brent and myself and Melissa from the planning and zoning net, and to give you a little bit of background, I sent off the RFQ, the request for qualifications to 5 different companies. We got a response back from all 5. And me and Brent and Melissa from planning met, and we eliminated down to 3 candidates. And in your package, you have those 3 candidates. And hopefully we're going to let you guys set a date when we'll interview those 3 candidates. And out of those 3, we'll select the person who's going to do our master plan.
Is it, for those dates, is it a date that we would set to do all 3, or is it 3 different
I
dates?
already do all 3.
Right, okay.
And give them a time limit of 15
Oh, okay.
minutes, 10-minute presentation for the y'all just need this.
What's your timeline in setting that date?
I gotta get with the companies and actually see, but if we go ahead and set a date, I mean, we could actually do it at the next regulation.
That's what I was gonna say, maybe we could just do it that
17th,
evening.
On the 17th or 19th, I think it's a date for that. And we just set it in and just have them, just say you got 15 minutes or 20 minutes to give your spiel, and then you ask them questions on that to decide.
17.
And then it has to go to the November 1st or November 4th city council meeting for council to approve. But one note on that, since this master plan is trying to encompass the whole city for everybody, and we did have the group that come from the dog park, I would like to get one of them to attend. Because I think this is really a stakeholders event, and we need to get as many groups as possible to help us with this, for this master plan. So it's 3 copies, and those are 3 companies: Plan Design, who has done work here before on a trail system, Bass Night Media on the grass master plan 13 years ago, and Brooke was our last one. We have been working in all of our Jackson County, as far as parks and community centers and different things like that.
Thank you.
Sif, do we have, I'm sure it's probably included in here, the cost for each of these. Do we have a rundown of all of that?
And the cost of the council allocated $50,000 for this project. I'm hoping that we can get way under that.
Yeah.
And the reason behind that is, we already have an inventory list of what things that we have in the city already. We possibly may be able to use the study from UNCC, feasibility study on the gym, part of it. So those 2 things may go with the cost. I've talked to, and I won't try to shade your minds or anything, I won't tell you who the company is, but one of those companies has did Gastonia and Gaston counties, and the project came in at almost 30,000, the other was 35,000. And they used some of the same format they used at inventory, and they did their own surveys. But we already have a survey from, like I said, from UNCC, we can use part of that. And perhaps me and Brent and Melissa from planning has also talked about maybe doing another survey or something for that.
We had, if you recall, the survey from UNCC, it was the results of that were a little slanted in terms of who came out and provided feedback. So one of the questions we'll have for these firms, as well as for ourselves, is, do we have enough to represent the community? Will these firms be able to build on what UNCC did, maybe go get some additional feedback from people that haven't had a chance to reply yet? Or do they have to do a whole new thing with their own methodology or something, and which would mean potentially more cost if we can't build on the UNCC questionnaires? So, and that'll be questions for us to ask them when they get here. How can they do it? Will that still provide what they need to come up with a valid master plan?
Exciting.
Yeah, anybody got any kind of questions? Any kind of questions you think you can take up at the gas company? I mean, we need to try to get together on that. And on that meeting on the 19th or 17th, I forget the date on that Wednesday.
Oh, the 17th.
17th, y'all want to meet a little at 6 o'clock and have them come in maybe at 6:30, 6:45?
I think if that's okay with everybody, I think that'd be great.
Give them a chance to meet, right, have some questions.
Maybe I can get like a note.
We could send you with the questions too.
So we can,
I mean,
that'll be
kind of as we read these proposals over, and send you the questions.
Yeah, so we got homework, so you guys got homework to do. We go with these 3 proposals, see if we can write.
Do we have a criteria list that we've gone with prior to selecting these 3, or just narrowing it down to these 3?
Like I said, it was just me, Brent, and Melissa from planning. We looked at the scope of work that they've done in the past and what they're doing right now. One of the companies was eliminated because we felt like they had a heavy workload, and the other company didn't. I don't think they were as prepared to go for the 3, and that's why we eliminated those 2. But these 3 that we selected stood out. Each one of them had areas that they were strong in. So that's why we leave this 3 up to you guys.